Good morning, everyone. Darius Dale here to present our macro minute for Friday, November 26, 2021. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday with their families. Starting with markets, we got stocks down, commodities down, crypto down, dollar down, small global bond yields down a lot. Market clearly pricing in deflation today. Big movers, you have the Russell 2000 and copper, both down 4% each. WTI down 7%, Bitcoin down 8%, Ethereum down 10%. Get the 10-year and 2-year Treasury yields down 12 basis points and 13 basis points, respectively. On the economic front, leading survey data are suggestive of the post-Delta bounce in global growth we called for back in August, A, actually occurred, and B, likely ended in November. So we got the UK CBI Retailer Confidence Index ticked up 12 points to 39 in November. That's the highest we've seen in 3 months. Canada's CFIB Business Barometer Index ticked up 1.7 points to 62 in November. That's the highest we've seen in 3 months. Italy's economic sentiment index ticked up 0.1 point to 115.1 in November. That's the highest we've seen since July. And then France INSEE consumer confidence index that was unchanged in November, tied for the lowest since August, lowest since August rather. And then Germany getting a December data point now here. So this is where the action is. Germany's GfK consumer confidence index ticked down 2.6 points to minus 1.6 in December. That's the lowest reading we've seen since June. So taking it to the chart here, in terms of the economies that are actually, seeing COVID spike the most, you're starting to see that data really start to flag and sag heading into the latter part of Q4 into the early part of Q1. One thing, and this is its daily confirmed new cases per million people. So we've been tracking this heading into the winter months, particularly for the Northern Hemisphere. But obviously what's on everybody's mind this morning with respect to the COVID developments is this new strain coming out of South Africa, B.1.1529. Certainly not as cool as Delta. Delta sounds way cooler. But anyway, one thing I will flag on that, clearly we're having a risk-off day as a function of that. But you see South Africa down here in this chart? Like, you would expect South Africa to be doing this, based on global markets, but it's down here. So, keep that in mind. Not saying ignore the strain. We could see some changing market conditions that we have to react to and risk manage. But the reality is this could just be a big newsy day on the other side of OPEX and the unpinning of it all. With respect to today's probable range setups, overbought signal in the VIX, the US dollar versus Canadian loonie, US dollar versus the Mexican peso. Oversold signals, a bunch of them this morning. DAX, MSCI Emerging Market Index, Nikkei 225, Russell 2000, WTI, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Aussie dollar, 10-year boom, 10-year Swissy, 10-year gilt, and 10-year Treasury. But one thing I will say is today is not the day to be a hero buying dips. However, you do need to give volatility markets some time to potentially settle into new regimes, which would be a leading indicator for bigger corrections, bigger crashes in and across risk assets. We're not quite there yet, so emphasis on potentially. Looking at the probable range setups for the S&P 500, minus 0.5% downside versus 2.9% upside. WTI is at the lower boundary of its probable range with 20% upside from here. Bloomberg Dollar Index, minus 1.4%. Of downside versus 0.3% of upside. 10-year Treasury yield at the lower boundary of its probable range with 27 basis points of upside. Bitcoin at the lower boundary of its probable range, 26% upside. Ethereum at the lower boundary of its probable range, 29% upside. And gold minus 0.1% up downside versus 5% upside. So that, Darius Dale presenting our macro minute for Friday, November 26, 2021. I know that was a long one, but guess what? There's going to be a lot more signals coming out of the 42 macro process today and over the weekend. So subscribe if you guys want to get those actionable updates. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Cheers.